Okay, so I'm out here getting some more firewood today. Same spot, same red oak. So let's get after it. stuck on something. Okay, so plenty of that. I don't think my bar is getting enough oil. Huh. Oh, yeah, that's stuck on there. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, wow. This is the first time that's happened, but you look at all that discoloration. That bar got hung up on there. That chain got hung up in the bar real bad. So this has an oiler problem. All right, well, can we get one more out of her? I wonder. We'll see. And just look at that. This is phenomenal. And I think I mentioned on my last video that somebody with a tiny chainsaw came in and just check this out. So at the end of the day, looks like they took a couple of goes at this vertical line right down there. And then they made about 4 cuts all the way through. Not all the way through, but as far as their bar, probably had a 14-inch bar. And so after making, it's probably 15 feet of cut down the log lengthwise. I've never seen anyone do this outside of ripping or milling. And then making, you know, one side, so probably 10 cuts that way. They left with nothing, not a single piece of wood. So just mystifying. But that's the situation we're dealing with here. But this oak is amazing. It's just sad that not more of it could have been used for milling. So actually I'm gonna move you maybe about right here now. Can you see that? All right. So I've got a couple axes here. This is my Husky. I really like that axe. It's just a fantastic all-around axe. And I don't need these anymore. And then I've got, you know, this is my Holtzbrook splitting axe. And geez, you know, I don't know. I'm actually gonna use this first, just because I feel kind of bad about dogging it in my last video. I've got, this is actually an axe designed for firefighting by Council Tool. This is the forcible entry axe, 6 pounds. So this is the heaviest axe. I believe it's the heaviest axe. At least there's nothing heavier that Council Tools makes. There might be a fireman's axe that's 6 pounds, but the splitting axe that they make is 5 pounds. So that's a beast. And of course, I've got my Jersey pattern, and this is just my favorite all-around axe. So here we go. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this wood here. I'm gonna start with the with this Holtzbrook. And you know, I think I'm actually gonna move you. Yeah, that's a little better. That way you can actually see what I'm splitting. But you can see here, this is almost the width of this axe. This is, I don't know, what is it, a 32-inch handle? And at its widest, it's just about a 1/2 inch short. So, all right, let's see what she can do. Well, we popped her. There's a big knot. Woo! 2 more. One more. Whew. So, you know, it'll do it. It's not easy, but it'll do it. This one here is a big old knot right down the middle. And when they're this big, I make a cross, and then if I need to, I pop the pieces around the edge, because they like to, especially in red oak, they like to get hung up in the pith. So that's how I do it. And you can see how nicely they just come off. And then you can worry about that later. Oh, look at that. And this has been sitting a while. We're getting to it just in time, because those ants would just demolish this whole trunk given the opportunity. We'll just get it out in the sun, because I don't want to bring back a whole bunch of ants to my wood pile. And there was a time when I would load up rounds. I don't do that anymore. Life is too short. I just split them into, big beefy chunks like this, and then I can process them at my house later into burnable pieces. Okay, so I take it back. This is not the worst splitting axe money can buy. I'm sure there are worse out there. It's just not as good as you can get for the money you spend on it. So we got those taken care of. And I think I'm gonna pop this guy down in half then. And I do hate to see this being cut down into firewood, but it is what it is. Okay, we'll move down a section. I left my, or wait, is that one of his cuts or mine? I think it's one of mine. I left my pry bar at home. Oh, that might be one of his cuts. I hope I didn't just sink that wedge. Yep. Because that one doesn't go all the way through. Well, here's what we're gonna do. So I just sunk my 2 wedges into that guy's cut, which doesn't go all the way through. And my rounds didn't, or my wedges didn't get me into it. So here's what we're gonna do. There's one. Oh man, he didn't get further than there. Unbelievable. Let's see. There we go. Got my wedge back. I'm gonna take one more off of there. I want it to go right there. All right. And I get why people charge more for something that somebody's already been into. Because what a pain in the butt. Let's see. That was a risk, but it seems to have gone okay. All right. Okay, so we're back here with the pry bar, and we'll get her open. And my longer bar chainsaw is on my sawmill, and I just didn't want didn't want to have to go through the process of taking it off and then switching the chains from ripping the crosscut and then coming over here and undoing everything I just did. So, and this chainsaw bar is just a bit too small. Ah, wow. I mean, this stuff is just unbelievable. Let's see. I might move you. There we go. All right. Give you a couple shots of this console tool, and you know, I hit the back of my splitting axe, that Husky, a couple times, and you know, this doesn't have a hardened pull, but the reason I felt comfortable doing that is because it's made out of 4140 steel and it's a forcible entry axe. So hitting Halligan bars and pry bars and other kinds of firefighting implements is actually what this is designed to do. And you can see how beefy that is. So it'll be just fine. And you can see there's a wax coating on the back, hardly a mark. There we go. Well, and I'm dang near just out of gas right now, so I'm not swinging very hard. And you can see how much easier that was than that HB. You know, and if you're in a situation where your calories count, you know, you wouldn't want to be overexerting yourself with an axe that's just too small for what you need to do. Oh wow. I don't know that I've ever seen this before, but look at that. That's the core of the tree. Interesting. It's split like a circle. Never seen that before. I mean, it just splits, you know. Hardly anything to it. I mean, just, I'm hardly swinging. Let's popping these open. That is pretty neat. Man, why doesn't that one? All right. There we go. I just wanted to get a close-up of that core. That's really cool. Tripping all over myself. Time to load. And one thing that I do really like about this axe here is you can see how curved it is, or maybe you can't, maybe that's a bad comparison. But here's the Jersey pattern, and I will never say a bad thing about this axe after I fixed it. It's amazing, I love it. Perfect weight, perfect size. This forcible entry axe is designed to give you a whole lot of power when you swing. It's so curved here. When you get down to the palm swell, it just wants to be sent into that wood. Only thing I did to it was thin down the handle a little bit and add a fawn's foot, which, you know, it comes like this from Council Tool, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. I just like a fawn's foot. I think it makes the axe look a little bit more finished. So let's see, I'll put you back here. All right, back to work. Oh, missed. And this is our prior friend's cut. There we go. Got to hang up. Just ugly, ugly cuts. Look at how wet that is. We got ants galore. Wow. All right. So I think I'm gonna take another swig here and get out that jersey pattern. And this axe punches way above its weight. It's phenomenal. I'm gonna split across the round now, which I don't like to do, but it'll be fine. I just lost my cords. I had a friend come over. I was showing him my axes. And he said, oh yeah, did they wrap the cord around it? And he just started twisting it with his hand and he unraveled the whole thing. So, but now you can see the axe undressed. It's just gorgeous. I mean, it's just totally beautiful. This is one of the prettiest axes available on the market right now. It doesn't come with the polished bevels. This is the sport utility version, but you just take some sandpaper and you can rub off the forging scale, and which I kind of like, except when there are phantom bevels. So back to the forcible entry axe. And I will say, if you're gonna split, just get a dedicated splitting axe. This Jersey will do it, but it's a felling axe. It's an all-around axe. I'd say it's a felling axe that can do anything. This is a splitting axe. There's a huge difference.